From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is 1011's Morning Pulse.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Monday, December 15th. We're trying out something new here on the streaming desk. We're going to try to do our Morning Pulse episodes live from here on out around 8 a.m. with either the latest live breaking news or news from this morning's newscast. But be sure to look out for this push notification when you get the chance, because we'll be here live talking over our latest morning headlines. Starting things off and first happening just this morning, Lincoln Fire and Rescue responded to a garage fire. Actually, our first story, you can already see the airs live happening now, but our first story from this morning, Lincoln police on scene of a crash in North Lincoln involving a car and a semi on Monday morning. This just coming in to our newsroom here. And it happened at 6:30 a.m. with reports coming in of a crash at the intersection of 27th and Superior Streets. LPD says one person was taken to the hospital by ambulance, and they believe the injuries are minor. On scene, a car at the intersection can be seen with major damage, while a semi with minor damage to its front is idle off to the side. While there are no details yet on what caused the crash, be sure to stick with us at 1011 Now for updates as we work to get more information on that. Now moving over to that fire I mentioned earlier, to your second story, Lincoln Fire and Rescue earlier this morning responding to a garage fire in southeast Lincoln. Just before 3 a.m., LFR responded to reports of a fire at South 63rd Street and Tanglewood Drive near Nebraska Parkway and Old Cheney Road. While no visible flames were seen by our reporter on scene, damage could be seen to the two-door garage with firefighters still on scene there. You can see some of the smoke billowing out right there. Again, this is another case that we just got this morning, so be sure to stick with us at 1011 Now as we work to get more information on this story. Now cutting over to the more sad news from yesterday. A historic season coming to a shocking end inside of John Cook Arena yesterday, if you missed it. The Huskers losing their first match of the year, denying the Big Red a trip to the Final Four. Huskers battled Texas A&M in a 5-set thriller that ultimately went the way of the Aggies. For all but two players on Nebraska's roster, this is their first loss inside the building, and the home loss is the first for the Huskers since November of 2022. You can hear their words on our website with this story on 1011now.com, but still a huge congratulations to the Husker volleyball players for still a pretty great season going on. Your fourth story this morning, more information emerging from over the weekend surrounding a state senator who's expected to be in court later this week. Senator Dan McEwen faces a disturbing the peace charge stemming from allegations of groping a woman at a party. The Nebraska Unicameral's executive board meeting Saturday afternoon determining in a unanimous 8-0 vote that removing Senator McEwen from the Nebraska legislature is warranted. He's scheduled to appear in court this Wednesday after failing to appear at his first hearing. We'll continue to follow this developing story, but be sure to get the latest update on our 1011 Now app and streaming over on Roku. Now throwing things over to another heartbreaking story this morning. Rob Reiner, the son of a comedy giant who became one himself as one of the preeminent filmmakers of his generation with movies such as The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Stand By Me, and This Is Spinal Tap, has died at 78, along with his wife. Reiner and his wife, Michelle Singer, were found dead Sunday at their home in the Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. A law enforcement official briefed on the investigation confirmed that Reiner and Singer were the victims. The official cannot publicly discuss details of the investigation, spoke with the Associated Press on the condition of anonymity. Authorities were investigating an apparent homicide, said Captain Mike Bland with the Los Angeles Police Department. And again, Los Angeles Fire Department said it responded to initially a medical aid request shortly after 3:30 p.m. Again, this heartbreaking story just coming in from overnight happening. So be sure to stick with us as we work to learn more on that story as well. But that's going to be your morning pulse for this Monday morning, our first one live, and we'll try to keep doing this some more. We'll throw things over to your 7-day cold start to this morning, but it'll end warmer as we go into the afternoon.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.